views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its hosts, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. What up, y'all? It is 7 o'clock on a Tuesday, so y'all know what that means. Miss Kim Davis, how you doing? Linda Sanders in the building. Miss Bobby, how you? What's up, y'all? Man, it's been a long week. I've been literally playing catch up on my sleep because, just for the record, I still have yet to completely catch up on my sleep from the homecoming. But hey, Margaret Simple Shoes Ray, ain't it your birthday? Yeah. Anyway, I have to, finally, catch up on my thing here, because man, I'm telling you what, that event was a barn burner, and for that reason, tonight, you guys, we are going to have the host and hostess of the homecoming on the live, and if you have any questions, any type of things that you may want to inquire about. We do have one large burning question that we're gonna address tonight, but we do have quite a few things that that we're going to address. My guests tonight are going to help us all to get more clarity about the things that maybe moving forward in the future where this event is concerned. A lot of good stuff coming down the pipe, a lot happening. Of course, before we go too far and get real deep into it, I want to mention the last 3 upcoming events for Inside Stepping for the year, except for New Year's, of course, because we'll be in Houston with Ms. Tony Brown Huff with her Masquerade New Year's Eve party, which is going to be off the chain like it was last year. When I tell y'all that was a party, baby, it was a time to be had. That's all I'm saying. Just, you got to get ready for that. Vonda Powell, how are you, Vonda? Hey, Francine, what's happening, Dr. Francine? God is faithful in the building. Beamer Johnson in the house. Myra Mitchell, how you doing, baby? So, right quick, y'all, week after next, we will be in Chicago, Illinois for the world's largest steppers competition. Y'all know that's the big show once a year. Majestic Gents and Pete Frazier and the crew. We are going to be in the building, myself, my co-host, Ambassador Kevin Nevels. We will be talking about all things stepping. And of course, we cannot forget and we cannot be remiss that this is a master's year. Now, for all of my newer steppers, let me give you a little bit of explanation. Pastor D in the building, what's happening? Dennis Howard Hodges. Hey, Antonita Lachey. For my new steppers, because we do have people who will tune into this show, because every day new people are added to the roles of the steppers community. And for those who are not aware, and even some of you guys who have been around a while, you may not know this as well. Every 5 years at the world's largest, we have what is called the Masters category, which is where people who have already won other areas of the world's largest competition in previous years have the opportunity to compete against the best of the best, only on stage, all at one time. I can tell y'all now, this year is going to be a beast. It is some big names up there this year that are going to be doing big things. I know some folks got some stuff up their sleeve. We are going to see. This is going to be one hell of a competition. So y'all might as well get ready. Deborah Edwards, how are you, dear? Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're feeling better. David Calhoun, what's up, fam? I see you, my man. I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks. I'm coming to Chicago, so you make sure you're on deck. Always good to see you, brother. So the world's largest is going to, of course, be a very eventful event like it always is. And there's always surprises to be had. There's always things going on. And we are looking forward to that part of the game. So y'all get real ready for that. Also, Dim Atlas will be performing, y'all. And if you don't know who that is the gentleman who sings Music Man. Hey, Mr. Music Man, won't you play me a song? Help me sing along. Yeah, we're going to have some fun. It's going down. Kevin Portier in the building. How are you? Theodore Grant, I see you. 79th Street in the building. That's my home. That's that cradle to the grave right there. 79th Street, born and raised. My man Doobie. What's up, baby? I got chastised, Doobie. My wife said, how come you never formally introduced me to him? So, Doobie, next time I see you and she's with me, I got to make sure we put that handshake together so I don't get cussed out no more, okay? Because every time you come around, she's like, how come I don't know him? Okay, we're going to take care of that. Anyway, Charles E. Heilich in the building. How you doing, lady? Kevin Portier said, hello to the Inside Stepping family. May the God of your understanding continue to bless y'all as only he can. P.S. You did a good job also, Brian Forbes, showcasing to the homecoming. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate the accolade. That's always a beautiful thing when I have an opportunity to receive my flowers while I'm still here for those who care. Thank you so much. Chalk James in the building. What's up, Chalk? The Chocolate Factory is in the house. Hey, Tony. Tony Brown Huff. Now, y'all know New Year's Eve, you're going to want to be in Houston, Texas for Tony Brown Huff's Masquerade Steppers Ball. Baby, we had a blast last year. If you can be in Houston for New Year's Eve, you will not be disappointed. I promise you won't. Dennis Moore, what's up, family? I see you West Coast in the building. That's the Cali in the house. That's my backup DJ, y'all. Dennis had the box on the bus. You know, we had I had a lot to do on there. We was doing a lot of talking. Dennis had that music lined up for me. Thank you, Dennis. You're a proper kind of fella. Norma Watkins, how you doing? I see you. Okay, now, let me get these other folks in the building. Now I'm asking my guests in the green room, y'all keep the noise down so I don't have to mute your mics. You dig? Anyway, all of my guests will be on here shortly. We're going to be talking about the homecoming again for a following week. I don't think in the history of Inside Stepping we've ever done a double recap. A recap one week and then a recap the following week. Now, the reason we're doing this is because last week, of course, with the event being as large as it was and everything that went on, it was necessary for the host and hostess to wind down and take a couple of days to decompress and get everything together so that they can have this conversation and kind of give you guys a little bit of insight about what was required, what happened, give you some solid numbers, and allow you, the audience, to ask questions. So if you're on this live, first of all, share it with somebody else. But if you're on this live, also know that this is your opportunity to ask any questions directly to the host and hostess of the event and make any commentary that you may have. Because, of course, unlike many folks who host events, these people actually care about the people. They care about what the people want, what the people need, and what the people experienced, and with the ability to make corrections and assist in any way possible and clear up any misunderstandings, even though I don't know that there were any. And with that said, the following week, you all, after the world's largest, we will be with the Imperial Steppers at Denim and Diamonds 10th anniversary in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's my girl, Valerie O'Connor over there. And we're going to be doing the doggone thing. As always, she has a fantastic event. Look, y'all, I don't talk. Y'all, sometimes I think some of y'all think that I only talk about events for people that pay me, but I'm going to just be honest with you. That's not true. There are certain events that I do not get paid to promote. And why? Because as a patron of this dance and this community, it is extremely important to me to make sure that the individuals who follow this show and trust in our honesty and transparency, that we give you good information and allow you to go to the events that are most important, that make a difference, and that are reputable. Not only reputable, but also just downright good events to go to. And that's no BS, y'all. Nicole Woods, how are you? Thank you for checking in. Angela Baker, I see you. Keisha Reese, what's up, baby? Keisha, I still didn't get my dance. I'm going to fight you. I'm going to see you this weekend, up next weekend at the world's largest. Sherry Brown, how you doing? Elamar Lamar in the house, how you doing, Elamar? I know you got 10,000 questions, and it's okay because I'm going to be looking forward to them because I know you always have great questions. Regina Freeman in the house, how are you? My man, Treehouse in the building, my man. Okay, let's see who else we got. All right, so let's move on forward. Jamal Riddle, I see you. Uh, no, not yet. I haven't got there yet. Okay, so anyway, Denim and Diamonds is going to be the following week after the world's largest, and we are going to be getting it in. So y'all get ready for that. Always to me, a fantastic, fantastic event. I love it. Let me just put it that way. I love it, and you will not be disappointed by attending it yourselves. So be prepared for what I believe is one of the better yearly events that you will not be disappointed in attending. So get ready to get ready for that. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure I got everybody in here. Let's see. We got Ari QC. All right. Keith, do me a favor and turn you all's phone sideways. You got it upright. I want you to turn it to the side for me. Keith C. There you go. That's it right there. That's what I like. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Now, with all of that, y'all, I got to do a little bit of housekeeping because just for the record, it sometimes is very complicated to get this host of very important people all in one place. So we got to do the housekeeping as we on the fly, if you will, and make sure that we give you good view of everything that's going on. Also, where's the flyer on that event, Pop? Was it? I didn't see it. Okay. All right, not a problem. I'll take care of it. All right, we're getting everything lined out here, y'all. Make sure we got you faded. Let me see. No, don't worry about it. I get it. All right. Okay, so anyway, you guys, moving forward, I want everybody to also in October. I'm get to October because we got two last events in October. October the 16th through the 19th, y'all. The 10th anniversary of Metropolitan Steppers in DC. This is yet another great event. Not just one we're talking about, not just one we're promoting. I need you to understand that this event also has 10 years in the game. If people understood what was required and how difficult it can be, Rodney Mackenhouse, how you doing? Regina Strickland, I see you. Deborah Wright, how are you? If you understood how much goes into doing an event, first of all, you would understand the magnitude of the homecoming. But you would also understand events like DC Metropolitan Steppers and stepping in the nation's capital and understand what is required in order for an event to have the longevity that allows you to do something year after year with excellence for 10 years and sometimes even more. There are certain events that are able to have that moniker and have that recognition. And because of that, that lets you know that they are a solid team and that they are able to give you a quality event. For that, my hat goes off. Stepping in the nation's capital, and that is Metropolitan DC Steppers. And of course, you're going to have Myron R., Cheryl Sugarfoot Poe, Mellow Chris, Sharnese Simmons, and Royce Banks as the staff and team. And I think it's going to be a fantastic event. My man Norman Cherry, Norman, if you're watching, you agreed to give me an interview. So we're going to get with you here pretty quick right before your event, and we're going to do this interview. You and my homegirl, Jackie Ballard. Jackie, was wonderful seeing you this week at the homecoming. So thank you for coming out. Tony Stoney Jackson in the building. DJ Marcus Alonzo also. How you doing, bro? So with all of that said, you guys, we also have the last event for Inside Stepping for the year is going to be Tina's third annual Pink Party Stepping into Healing. Tina is a cancer survivor, and she's doing this event which I love. This is October the 25th, 2025. So if you're in Houston or anywhere thereabout, you need to show up to this party. It's free. Just show up. Show up. Have a great time. Tina is celebrating life. And for that reason and that reason alone, I have every reason to be there. I have every reason to participate, and I have every reason to support her and her vision and her time to enjoy this community and allow this community to enjoy her and us, one another. So you cannot go wrong by coming to Houston, Texas on October the 26th. We'll be at the El Dorado Ballroom, and it will be going down. If you have any questions, you can call Tina at 832-413-2420. Tina Israel, y'all, and she was at the homecoming too, and we had a great, great time. My man, William Owens, what's happening? The collaboration is real. Rodney Mack said, Detroit White Party got 21 years in the game. I want y'all to think about that. Some of y'all have not been stepping 20-nothing. For a person to be able to maintain an event for that amount of time and it remain excellent is phenomenal. Some folks could take a note from some of that. Now, with all of that said, it is time, you ladies and gentlemen, for me to introduce my guests and the people of the hour, the hosts and hostess of the homecoming. Let me see. There we go. Keith C., go ahead and unmute your mic for me. And the people who I personally have to say, from my own experience, have had to have been some of the most graceful hosts and hostess. Well planned, well thought out, mindful, thoughtful of the people, and just all around excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, the group, I'm sorry, you know what? Irie, help me out right quick. The Alumni Association. I got it. That's it. I knew it was something. I just remember. Irie, Keith, and Mona. How are y'all tonight?
What's up? What's up?
Hey.
It is good to see everybody. Thank you all for tuning in, coming and hanging out with us. What's going on? Y'all
What's up, Howard?
Oh, okay, yeah. All right, yeah. Everybody don't speak up at once. Come on now. So last week, I took it upon myself to do my own little recap and talk about the event from last week and just how much fun we all had, and to just give my 2 cents about the event. However, I am happy to have you all present to speak on your own behalf and to be questioned. See, let me tell y'all something. The truth never minds being questioned. And my best estimation is y'all are the truth. It's always the frauds and the fakes that got a problem answering questions. And I already know that y'all don't mind being front and center to give the people what they want. Got to give the people what they want. All right, y'all, I'm going to stop singing it. I've been singing all night. Let me cut it out. Uh-oh, look at here. I think we have our 4th guest is entering the room, and that is a fellow that we never can seem to get online. Let's get him. Come on, Mr. Bedford. I know that's you. All right. So with all of that said, let me congratulate you all, and thank you on behalf of the entire Steppers community for being able to provide such a large populace of people in this community with the opportunity to enjoy an event of this magnitude, and it go as smoothly as it looked on the surface. Now, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, and that's a beautiful thing. When we don't know what happened behind the scenes, baby, that's a beautiful thing. All I got to say is I loved everything that I saw.
Thank you.
So let's talk about I want first. Here's a question that I personally have. I need to know. I want to know numbers wise. Can we get a somewhat accurate count on what that looked like?
Last I checked, I come in at 64.
That's about where my estimation of it was. Somewhere in that neighborhood.
Okay. Yeah, they could don't quote me on that. That's what I remember seeing. So
we're talking, for the audience's sake, we're talking about 6,400 individuals who came together on behalf of this dance.
All I know is when I returned to the hotel.
Yes, for that's what I've checked with.
Hold on, Keith. We got Ken. Go ahead, Ken. Ken Bedford on the line, you guys.
I apologize for being late again.
It's okay. Come on in. Come on.
Yeah, what happened was that, and to add to that big number, was that I was someplace else. And I returned to the hotel, and even the guest parking was full. So I had to go find another spot to park, and I was way away from the place. So all the parking in that hotel was completely sold out, and including the guest parking. So they wouldn't even let me back in. I said, wait, I'm a guest. No, we are full to capacity. We can't even let employees in. So then I had to go find another parking lot, and that was jammed. I was way away. And I said all that because I missed the big, what we call the money shot, and that's when the mayor was there, and he made the presentation of the proclamation. And I should have been on that shot. And where it was, as you know, the Whispers, a brother, Walter, recently died. And I have a relationship with the Whispers for years and years. And I went down to see how Hewitt, Shalimar, and the Whispers were on the other side of town at a theater called Country Club Hill. So I was way away from the Hyatt. So I said, well, let me at least go pay my respect to them and then get back downtown. When I realized when I got back downtown, it was a madhouse, meaning traffic. Everything was locked up and locked in, and that's why I was late and I missed that shot. And so I know there was a lot of people there because they wouldn't even let anyone in that hotel.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, actually. So, Ken, I hope you have time to hang with us tonight, because I want to do this in sort of a chronological order, and I definitely want you to talk about the picnic, because unfortunately I was not able to attend based on the fact that I had a plane I had to catch.
What? And we do call it the cookout. You're gonna get me in trouble. It's the cookout. And I wish everybody use that terminology. Because the real meaning picnic is something else. We're going to that, but it is officially
Yeah,
a cookout.
I know the story behind it, but okay. Okay. So I want to start, Irie, if you would please give us some insight on what Thursday looked like. We didn't get in until Friday afternoon, so give us some background on Thursday so that the people will have some idea what took place there. Irie, I don't have vocals for you, sir.
I don't hear either him or Ken.
I hear Ken fine.
I'm still here.
I can hear Ken fine. I don't hear Irie.
Okay.
There you are. We got you now.
You got me?
Yep.
Okay, let's go back to Tuesday, because the build-up really started Tuesday at Kelly's.
Okay.
So when me and Keith Hubbard got in town, and we had Kelly's on the itinerary, so we were supposed to meet everybody down there, and Mona was down there. She was pre-registering everybody that wanted to register early before Friday and Saturday. So we went down there, and Kelly's was really, they had a nice crowd there. People was coming in and out and intermingling. So on a Tuesday, we figured, well, it's people here already. California was already stacked up in the house already. And then we're going to switch over to Wednesday. Wednesday was a madhouse or Visions. It was a madhouse. So
yeah, I was there.
we knew
Wait a minute,
from
no,
that
wait,
point,
that's
Brian,
right.
what was about to happen.
Yeah, we got there on that Wednesday, so yeah.
Yeah.
It,
So
they have a good crowd in there, but that
I,
night was off the chain.
yeah. So that gave us a precedence on what was going to happen on, the rest of the week. And Thursday, well, let's go back to Wednesday. Wednesday was the meeting with the departmental heads of the hotel and the convention center. So we went and met and went over to fine tuning everything. That's why the weekend went so, impeccable when it came to the facilities and all that stuff. Because me, Keith Hubbard, and Keith C, we went and met with the department heads, and we pretty much ironed out a whole lot of stuff in there and got everything tightened up in there. And then people started checking in early Thursday. The reason why I think that it went off so well, because remember Step Againza, we used to have the lobby party, right? And the lobby party was right there where you checked in at. Well, the hotel wouldn't give us the lobby. They wouldn't give us the lobby. They said the lobby would be too congested for music and all that stuff. So what they did was they advised me and Keith C that they would pretty much give us the whole second floor. That's why we had the whole second floor, because the ballroom was up there anyway. So I just suggested to Keith and Mona and everybody, why don't we just move the registration up there as well and have a party? It might not be the lobby, but at least there's a party as they checking in and registering.
Right.
Really, you know what I'm saying? So once that happened, I'm gonna let Mona talk about it, because she was registering people in, so she should be able to tell you about what the numbers and what the excitement was building up around it.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Hello.
Mona.
Okay. Thursday. Okay, I had my team set up. I had 3 shifts, 4 young ladies each shift, 10 a.m. to 1, 1 to 4, and 7 p.m. to like 2 a.m. in the morning. Ready, able to register people for the whole weekend. That was the shift we had, 3 shifts. So Thursday.
Moni, not to cut you off, but let me give you your kudos on that, because your staff was phenomenal.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay. I knew it was very important to have, I didn't know how people were gonna check in. I didn't know how they was gonna bum rush, but we were prepared for it all. So we had, like I said, 4 young ladies, each shift at the desk. And 10 o'clock, they started rolling in, and we were there, we prepared to accommodate them, basically.
Tell them, Mona, how you guys assimilated the list in alphabetical order by last name and stuff.
Okay, yes. Well, actually, Keith created books. He created the black books, where I don't know how many, it was a big black book. So we had 3 books. I had one, and I had 2 at the desk for the young ladies. I had 2 young ladies at like from A to L, I want to say, and then 2 young ladies from H, on to letter Z. It was A to H and then L to Z, something like that. However, one would look up the names and the other one would put the badges on their wrist. And everything was alphabetical order. Keith had organized it, put in a big binder. It was ready. We was ready. And we were excited. And we just took care of the business, basically.
Y'all definitely did that.
Keith Hubbard, tell him your role at that point.
Keith, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, Irie said, tell us where you came in after with the staff and everybody that was on point.
During Thursday.
Yeah, on the Thursday. Keith?
Which one? Keith?
Huh? You?
8? Oh, I didn't know
We talking to you. We need you. Come on, man. You got to pull it together, baby.
I couldn't hear. I didn't know when you were talking to me or Keith C. I couldn't hear.
Okay.
I can
All
only
right.
hear you.
I make sure you look. When I say Keith, you'll know I'm gonna say Keith C. I know.
Yeah.
It's Keith and Keith C. That's how we gonna do that.
Okay. All
Or
right,
you
now
just
run
want me
that.
to just? Oh, hold on. You want me to just call you the navigator and be done
Okay,
with it? All right, I got you, dog.
yeah. Okay, now run that question by me again.
We want to know what was your role during the registration period. What was you doing at that time? What was you responsible for? Tell them you're gonna have to relay it, Brian.
Keith, they want to know what your role was and your responsibility during the registration period.
Well,
Somebody say you showed up on your scooter. Go ahead.
I did. I was all listen. That put more miles on that scooter in that particular week than some people, in the 20 years of their life in a car. Well, my role pretty much was to rekindle some of the people that I've known over the decades in this particular dance. So I was reaching out to them, a lot of hellos, a lot of hugs, a lot of where you been. And so my role was pretty much set to just be a crowd pleaser, if you will, and remind everybody that the reason we're here to begin with. So my role was easy. I don't, that's probably the thing I do best is to try to remind everybody about a hug and to remember where we came from and where we are.
Well, somebody on the line here says humility is an asset. And yes, I do have to give you mad props, Keith, in your ability to remain calm and handle things in an even tone. I personally could take a lesson from you. I'm working on that. I'm trying to get. I'm a work in progress, brother. You're an inspiration.
Yes, sir.
Right quick, for all of you, we had this gentleman. I'm sorry. Charles E. Heilig says you guys have set a standard for new events coming in, and some older ones can take a page or two from you guys' notebook. It was structured and orchestrated very well. I have to reiterate that she is absolutely correct. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Kim Bedford, Keith C, Mona C, Irie, and Keith Hubbard. It is an unlikely, to me, as much as you all, I'm familiar with all of you, some more than others. It is amazing to me that you all were able to orchestrate something this large and it just be y'all with, I guess, what I would refer to as excellent abilities to delegate and to get people to get on board and work things. And I think that humility comment probably falls into that in a lot of ways. Keith C.
Yes, sir.
Help me out, man. Give me some oversight. Give me an overview. Give the audience some idea of what that looks like when you guys are able to get together and put something like this and make something like this come to fruition.
Well, we doing a convention, and if you're doing a convention, you got committees and subcommittees and people that's really got a job. Like Irie pretty much was programming. He was doing all the programming. He was doing convention information, promoting. Me myself, I was doing more of the hotel daily operation, making sure the rooms that Irie saw in his head, those programs come to life in those particular rooms. So I had to make sure that those rooms are available, what he needed to run his program. Mona did more of a hospitality, registration, greeters, what we call huggers sometimes. And everybody pretty much stayed in their lane. Keith and Ken were more doing entertainment. They was, we call F&E, but we call it more, I'm gonna call it entertainment. That's where Keith and Ken kind of came in my mind, in my mindset to make things work. So I stayed in my lane and tried to help where I could if needed. but it was pretty much trying to stay in my lane, knowing that this formula has worked, because we have used this formula in the past for thousands of people at that same hotel. So the hotel is not new to me.
Okay.
We've been there for over 10 years, and
Ah,
we had some insight
there
on
you
that
go.
hotel.
So you all
Yes.
approach this then basically from a convention perspective, which kind of I think and just it gives me some perspective about what you all were able to do here. So that would, for me in my mind, would obviously make it that much. I don't want to say easier, but more an organized format that made it more possible to grasp the ability to put something like this together where all of the working pieces were put together like a puzzle and it just came out to be a perfect picture. Would that be accurate?
Absolutely.
That was my mindset.
Very good. I like
That's
that. I like
Actually,
that.
That's
actually,
someone.
If
Brian,
I can, I think too, people need to stay in their lanes.
Ooh, man, preach.
Uh,
Louder key for the people in the back.
yeah, when you're working with people, I think when you work with people, you have to allow them to be who they are. And that's one thing that we did do if we didn't do nothing else.
Yeah.
We allowed each other to be who you are
Mhm.
and be appreciated for who you are, and that helped out a lot. I think I think
Master,
some wonderful people were able to come together for the right cause, right time, right reason, uh, and it's to come home and love on each other like we're supposed to from the beginning of this, because that's how I saw it when I came in.
Mhm.
So I can go on, but that's what I think. This God was all over this. I got to tell you,
oh yeah, oh yeah.
all from front to back.
All right.
Yes,
May I
sir.
One,
jump in and say something?
go
May I
ahead,
jump in
Ken.
and say something? Let me say, I'm like an outsider, I guess. And I looked at, and I say outsider because by the time I jumped in, this was already a manifested. This this convention, this epic event was done from my vision, uh, like an Army Corps of engineers. Everything was detailed, everything was manufactured and carried out. And it's something that I really noticed because I've been doing my cookout for 13 years
Mhm.
all by myself and never had that kind of detail. If I had that kind of organization with Mona, I saw Mona, she was registering people and people asked me about tickets over at Visions. I said, where's Mona? They said, they were trying to get tickets on Wednesday night. It was crazy. And she was filling books out and turning pages. I said, do you have any tickets? I said, hey, a few more. Please go see Mona. And so I know that everybody's working. I know Ira was working. I know Keith was doing some stuff. If I had that kind of same Army Corps of Engineers on my cookout, oh my God. And
Mhm.
that's what I learned. That's what I'm taking from this. I say this thing, what they did over when we did the Midway Playgrounds, man, I had to step my game up all the way for next year because of the fact that they had tents out there, chairs, where people would dance in the shade and sit down. Oh my God, it was a class act all the way around. And my hats are off. I never seen. I had to give me a team because this. I mean, no one else around the country, and we all go to these different conventions, and nobody has that kind of detail to that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And it's much more money, and it's way. I had one time a guy, he had an event that was way away from the airport, and it took about
Mhm.
$90 from the airport by cab to get to his event. I said, man, what are
Yeah.
you doing? Way on the other side of town. And I told him, I said, man, what are you doing? This is way. So see, that wasn't well thought out. This operation that happened last week, this epic event, was detailed, was planned, was thorough, and it was done with the customer in mind. That's what people like about it.
That
People
part
are so
right there.
amazing, man.
Absolutely.
Right there. I mean, you can say, yeah, dancing and the music and DJs. They've all done that everywhere, but nobody has buses, has registration like that to access the customer. When you satisfy the customer, that's when they have a real and the overall thing. It's like when they come to my picnic, it's like my picnic, my
Okay.
cookout. It is the epic. It's it's an illusion. It's so big. It's magnanimous. They saw
Yeah.
that big place. I told the mayor, I talked to the mayor. I said, Mayor, I'm sorry I'm late, but anyway, I said, listen. He said, I already said he did a bigger place. I said, Mayor, this is the bigger place.
Yeah.
I even threw it out there. I said, this place is no one would jump in there and try to do that any place because it's too big. And I noticed that, like I said, from my cookout, nobody is going to jump in with that type of investment for a free venture. And so I know what it takes, and I've done it by myself. This group here, I've never seen an assembly of anybody in the country ever, ever. And I'm in all my 13 years, I said, man, if I had that kind of stuff, where would I be?
Mm.
And that's
Well,
all I can do.
Ken,
I
if you
miss that
ever need me,
comparison.
I'll be available to assist you on anything you ever need. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah,
If you, you,
this
I mean,
entire go ahead, Ken.
I'm just saying, man, people are talking about this not because of dancing, not because of DJ good music and stuff. They're talking about that they were so well treated, they were so well attended to. It wasn't just we grab your money and go. People were every
Man.
line. They was, well, I got this, I got that. Well, bus tours. There were Greyhound buses that came down to the Midway. So where are the buses coming from? You know, the buses, it brought the people down. Everything was paid close attention to, and that's what people love. And if the whole synopsis of this whole thing is that people were entertained, people were well attended to, and they really made them feel like they were somebody. And when you can do that, when you do customer service on that kind of level, it's going to benefit you. And that's why people are still talking about it, and they're going to always talk about it. And I doubt it can ever be duplicated. I doubt ever
Well,
again.
in
You
the
got to step
words
your
of
game up all
Gucci,
around the country.
in the words of Gucci the photographer, this was the Woodstock of stepping. And we all know how that went.
That's right. And this one better than Woodstock because Woodstock, man, they ran out of water. They had everything here. They had the hotel rooms, everything. Now the hotel rooms, the parking was a problem because it was sold out. The rooms,
there was
couldn't get a
actually
room.
plenty of parking
That was the
across the
problem.
street. Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
In the parking lot across the street? Really?
I went over there. I did eventually park, but I was on the other end of the lot.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
telling you, I got there late. I missed the mayor's presentation. What do you think it was? I'm walking out and said, "Baby, I can't get in the hotel." I had counted on being able to park in the hotel and run over to the ceremony.
Oh, wow.
And that was a bad thing on my day, but I didn't know it was sold out and packed out like that. They wouldn't even let guests in. Real talk.
Wow.
And so I said, well, what am I going to do? And that's what made me late.
Well, Ken,
So I know.
let me say this, Ken. You wasn't an outsider. You just got on a moving train because the train was already moving. We wanted to move into another direction at the cookout, and we just gingerly would just say, "Hey, look, won't we get the boss of the cookouts to join the team?" So you just had the moving train, and you called
I got a well-oiled train. Yeah.
By the way, Ken, while we have you and you're speaking about the cookout situation, why don't you go ahead and talk about your cookout that you have also once a year to let people know, because there are a lot of people who, you know, they're familiar with the white party, but you know, the cookout doesn't get the kind of recognition that I think it deserves. I think you should speak about that right quick.
Okay, it doesn't get the national recognition, but what happens now?
Well, that's the problem. We want you to get the national recognition.
Right. What happens is that I used to give my cookout on the third Sunday of July. And then the out-of-towners came to the Majestic Gents White Party on the second Saturday. And then they told me, hey, I can't come back next week because it's too much money, so on and so forth. But I understood that. So then one Saturday was the second Saturday, and then that third Sunday was the next Sunday. And that's when I went to Majestic Gents and said, look, we need to do something together. We started. And so I try to keep it close that day because the out-of-towners are already in town. So the out-of-towners that I do get are here for the Majestic Gents thing anyway. Now, we started that, and I might add that Ira is one of my founding fathers, along with Sam Chapman and Rodney Mack. From day one, he would drive up from St. Louis and be at our cookout and all kinds of stuff. He would drive up in bad weather. Well, we never had bad weather, but he would always drive up here and worry about the parking. And then this thing, it finally grew. And this year was the absolute biggest event we've ever had in terms of that cookout. I
Okay.
mean, we added the element of house music to it with Farley. Maybe that was a part of it, but they were running over everywhere, and everything we did this year was red hot. But at the cookout, and it's strange. When we first started that with Ira and Sam Chapman and Rodney Mack, I wanted to have five different mayors, five
Mm.
African American mayors in the suburbs give me $1,000, give
Mm-hmm.
me a police squad car, a uniformed officer, and the mayor's appearance. And that's what we wanted to all do that. I had five mayors all join us,
Mm.
and then at the last minute, each of those guys bailed out. I had to
Oh.
pay for the permit and all that stuff myself. There was one guy, supervisor of Thornton Township. His name was Frank Zuccarelli, rest his
Mm-hmm.
soul.
Mhm.
He he had approached his assistant who worked with him, and he said, "Ask Ken Bedford, can I be a part of this?" And I said, "The cookout is open to everyone. We'd love to have him," meaning the township that he represented.
Mm-hmm.
And by him coming in, when I told him every other mayor backed up for whatever reason they did, he said, "I'll do the heavy lifting." And
Hmm.
for the 12 years until he died, he did. And that's how
Wow.
we really got started. So, a debt of gratitude to him, Frank Zuccarelli, for, for really sponsoring our event. And he said, "You can do whatever you want." And we did. And I've worked all these years until we had our biggest one, which was this year.
That's
Yep.
fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to this upcoming year. Of course, we know you'll be on deck doing what you do, man. And I want to give you a shout out because I've always enjoyed that cookout myself, and I just think it's a fantastic time. Every time
Thank
I
you.
come home for your cookout, I see people that I have not seen in 100 years, and I love it when I have that opportunity. So that's a beautiful thing. Um,
Thank you very much. Wait, and one more thing. You have to remember now. Now, another thing. I work at ABC,
okay.
TV. I'm a news photographer, and I normally call in the TV stations to cover events, certainly mine. And I was a little leery about the mayor actually showing up because President Trump was saying he was going to send a National Guard in, and I wouldn't think the
Yeah.
mayor would take time away from that event to be captured at a stepping event, and then when the city is about to be a National Guard. So I was a
Yeah.
little worried about that. But what I did notice, and I'm saying this, is that at my cookout, you have thousands of people there with their
Mm-hmm.
families, thousands of black people, and they had thousands of people at this event. No violence, no coverage, and that is to be.
That's where the spin should have came in.
As you
Absolutely.
know, if something had gone wrong, they would have had satellite trucks there, CNN saying, "Where's Ivory?
Yeah.
Where's Steve? Where's Mona? Where are they at?" But when something's positive, you don't see that spin. And that's one of the things I say at the cookout. I said, "Look, there's people all around this suburb here getting shot and killed and stuff, but the camaraderie, the Steppers community, this love, is a relationship. It's like a homecoming. It's a homecoming. It's a family reunion, and there's people that grew
Absolutely.
up here, like Keith Hubbard said, we grew up together, and where you've been, and you don't have that kind of friction. And that's one thing that I'm very proud of the Stepper community for doing, but we don't get credit for it. Now the young kids that are twerking and cause all kind of problems, they're doing that, but not the Steppers. And we need to get a lot more credit than what we do for it because there's absolutely no violence. The police come there and they walk around, they have nothing to do. And
No,
they're
I
amazed. They
I
say,
can't
"Man, you
argue
guys
with
are
you
so
on
little
that.
matters." And see, one of the reasons that I've been successful with that is because my security force, like say, if I invite you, Brian, and you
Mm-hmm.
bring your wife, your grandmother, and your kids, you are going to actually become part of my security force because you're not going to let nothing go around with your family there, and that has helped. And then the
Mm-hmm.
fact that we don't really invite people from outside the community because they don't understand a lot of stuff. So we have our steppers community. Most of these people have grown up together, gone to school together, you know, and they know each other, and
That's
so that
true.
keeps friction down.
That's
We
very
need,
true.
but we really need to know that we have thousands of people get together, black people, and there's no trouble.
Yep. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. And in fact, it's funny you say that because it actually occurred to me while we were, when the mayor did come in, I was literally sitting there thinking to myself, with everything that's going on, I appreciate the fact that he took time out of his schedule to attend. Let me give a shout out to the producer lady, whose idea it was, by the way, my wife, for the mayor to come out. But I thought about it and I said, now, what would it look like if he was actually on the floor dancing or trying to dance? I think they would shine that in a bad light. But I also think that it would have been a better look if the narrative was presented correctly, that here we are, 6,000 deep in this room, dancing and having a good time, and none of the violence that's being portrayed and the narrative that's being created by the powers that be is anywhere to be seen. That should have been.
But let me tell you, they don't want to spend it that way. See, it's positive black folks. They don't want to spend it that way, and that's what I spend most of my time trying to tell the station. I said, look, I told the president of my company, I said, listen, I know you guys are going to come down there and go live and say, where's Ken Bedford and so on and so forth. Where is he if something goes wrong? But if something goes right, then you have to give me that fair chance.
That same opportunity. That's right.
Why not show black prep? This is positive. We have lawyers and doctors, everything out there. And another thing, just think this event should have been sponsored. Now, I talked to Cheryl Cole of GDI in Atlanta. And they do their event in Atlanta every year. And they're right down the street from Coca-Cola. Why isn't Coca-Cola sponsoring them? I have a problem. We've been 13 years. They tell us, well, you haven't been in business long enough. Yes, we have. And still no sponsorship. Let me tell you, these other events are getting sponsorship, liquor companies, all kind of stuff. And they say, look, we're going to give you guys, we have a budget of $100,000. Is that enough? All of us as black promoters, and you know this, is that we do our events without sponsorship, with our own money.
Out of pocket.
That's so difficult. And I speak for all promoters. We don't have that kind of budget. I work at a TV station. A guy says, look, we want to do some kind of event. Well, here's your budget. $50,000, and they don't know what to do with it.
I think we need to go and drag Rodney Burke back into the community and get some information and some pointers from him. Now,
man,
for those of my audience who don't know who that gentleman is, he is a frequent flyer of Inside Stepping. Rodney Burke is the gentleman who initially put on the very first world's largest steppers competition with the support of Budweiser as a sponsor. And that's when the purse was real, real big. So I'm just putting that little fun fact out there because it plays into exactly what Mr. Bedford is speaking about at this time. Yeah,
it's terrible. It's actually so disgusting to me that corporate America is not embracing one for my event, which is longstanding, but certainly this event should have been able to reach $500,000 easily. And I'm not just making this out of the air. Budweiser, these companies, because here's the thing, all promoters, we can get the people, but the sponsors have the money and they want the people. So that's a fair exchange. So we can deliver the people, but now they have the money and they want to be tied into this. So sponsors should be saying, man, they would have thousands of people. We want to be part of it. We want our name on front of it. I looked at the Bears game last night. Do you realize they have 20 commercial breaks that whole game in 3.5 hours? And do you know how much they charge? Between $200,000 and $500,000
per spot,
a commercial break.
Yeah, that's about right. Okay. And
so you're talking about $6 or $7 million a game, and this is every week for the whole season. You see what kind of money? So it's natural they'll be able to do stuff like what Ira and Keith and Mona and Keith did. They did. Right. They spent the detail like there's that kind of money. That's what I'm saying. That's amazing. That's knocking me up because we don't have the budget up front to do it. It's our own money doing it. Now, if corporate America can say, look, we understand what these companies, because steppers buy cars, steppers drink milk, they eat bread,
Fly airlines, the list goes on.
Airlines, yeah. And so they need to get back. I mean, I speak for all promoters, we have the same problem. We're overlooked. And certainly an event of this magnitude should have had some major Walmart, anybody
I
back in
agree.
that.
So with that, Irie, I'd like for you to give us a little bit of perspective in that regard, and then we're gonna get back on the itinerary. But I want you to speak about, Irie, the concept that you was able to formulate and put forward throughout the Stepaganza years and into this event, which is the concept of can't beat free.
Well,
The layout of money for people to attend this event was small in comparison to the scale of what this event was. When we think about some of the other events that we go to and there's only 200 to 400 people, yet we pay $150 plus, and with everything else that goes into it, and not have the experience that we were able to have from something on this scale. Give us some perspective on what that looks like and what the possibilities are moving forward.
Well, everything has its own moving parts. The hotel, the event, and your pockets. You know what I'm saying? So what we do is I go in the hotel and I convince them to give us something for bringing all the people to the hotel. Usually it's maybe comps or back end. This year we didn't get it back in. We just basically said, hey, how many rooms do we have to sell to get all the facilities in here for free? The number. We said, okay, we'll go with it. But by them giving us a number that we can get everything that y'all saw where we was at, all that was for nothing, basically. We had to pay, of course, a few things, like, a few things on the side, but the rooms actually themselves was for nothing.
Man, y'all had a lot of rooms.
Yeah, we had a lot of rooms.
Y'all had a lot of breakout rooms, ballroom, and in the convention center itself.
Now, to sell the rooms, you can't charge an arm and a leg to the people to get in your party.
Right.
So the concept is we are selling rooms so we can have the facility rooms to party and to do our thing. So basically, to sell the rooms, hey, let's give the people free entry into the party, 2 per room. If anybody in the room wants to, then we just charge them a minimum fee. And trust me, $70 for all access pass for everything that happened that whole weekend is minimum. You understand? Minimum. That's minimum. So that's what it is. We wasn't like me. I want to give everybody gives me the credit for all of this stuff as far as the concept and the blueprint. But I'm gonna tell you guys something that Keith C is the one. It was his idea to do it.
Okay.
It was his idea to do it in Chicago.
See, Keith, that behind the scenes and stuff don't nobody know about. You be over there all quiet. We see you, Keith C.
So Keith just joined forces with me. I pulled Keith Hubbard in because Keith Hubbard is the prodigal son in Chicago.
The navigator.
He put so much work into this community in Chicago and particularly outside of Chicago. And then, like I said, Ken Bedford came in on the moving train because what folks don't understand, promoters don't understand, if there's somebody that can do certain things better than you, just hire him to do it and let them on the team. We're not
Preach.
we're not that we don't have that much pride that we can't humble ourselves and give Ken Bedford a part of the team. Because that was an intricate detail. That was an intricate part of the weekend was the cooking. So that's how all of that came together. And basically, like I said, I don't really think it would have really pulled off like it was if it wasn't for You Can't Be Free. Imagine if we charged, $70 per person, even though they was in the hotel. We got a lot of people, but not as many as You Can't Be Free. You
Right.
understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's how it all happened.
Well, and the other part of that, and I want to stress and reiterate this to the public, to my audience in particular. I want y'all to understand something. The people who donated their time,
Yep.
their skills, their knowledge to this event made it what it is. And I want to give my shout out and my hats off to every person who contributed something to this.
Now
It
let me talk
saddens
about that.
me.
Let me talk
Hmm,
about that,
go ahead.
Brian.
Come on.
So since we wasn't making any money off the deal, any of that stuff, and we couldn't give away hotels like I used to do at Stepaganza,
Hmm.
we had to ask for everybody to donate it, and like a community service or like a give back weekend, because we was giving back. The whole project was a give back weekend, really.
Hmm.
So all I did was me and Keith Hubbard, we just contacted our friends that we started from the Lifetime Achievement Awardees, so we know we needed a base. So by
Hmm.
the time the Lifetime Achievement Awardees, they was like, sure, we do it for donate the time. And by the time I got to the people that actually charge for these services, and when they saw the roster already, they was like, well, shit, if they give it away for free, I guess it would be cool. That'd be cool. We give it away for free. And like
Hmm.
I said, the DJs, we asked the DJs, please can you just donate the time, because I don't, for some unforeseen reason, people think you got 6,000 people in your building that you making thousands of dollars. That
Look, them pocket watchers.
yeah,
That be them pocket watchers.
yeah, yeah.
They like to count your money faster than you do.
So basically, I think everybody who donated the time, from the DJs all the way down to the instructors, they really felt great about it after the fact that it happened. Some of them was still twitching about, ain't nobody getting paid. But I think after it was all over, they knew it was historic, it was iconic, and they was proud to be a part of it.
Yeah.
That's that, and that is, and that from, and I'm gonna just tell you from my perspective personally. There are people who I, know that, they will, oh, I'm not getting paid, I'm not doing it. And to each his own, and that's fine. Some folks just feel the way that they feel. Um, but me personally, I personally wanted to be a part of this history. I wanted to have Inside Stepping as a part of what to me is sure to go down in the history of stepping as one of the most phenomenal events that we've ever seen throughout this community as long as I've been around it. Number one, as a DJ, I was thankful for the opportunity to be able to play in front of as many people and do what we did on this scale and just be a part of it in general. I'm okay with that. Um,
Let me
I believe in giving back to the community. I have always believed in that. I have always believed in bringing forward our newer steppers who are learning this culture and who are trying to be part of it and to move forward in it. And so, because of that, I'm always willing and had been willing to, do my part in that regard. Um, let's see.
Can you hear me?
Someone said labor of love for the community. Ladies and gentlemen, if any of you all out here in inside Stepping Land have any questions, feel free to put those up so that we can put them in front of the panel. Now, so we got past all of that. Now we're at what, Friday now.
I want to get in. I want to get in. Can you hear me?
Yes, Keith, come on.
Yeah, I want to get in a little bit before this goes too far.
Me and you in that headset, we're gonna fight. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Speak up a little bit for me.
I want to make sure that it it should have been to me as long as I've been in this dance.
Mm-hmm.
I look for some people to have stepped forward other than the ones that I saw
Mm-hmm.
in any way possible. And this has nothing to do with the team. It has something to do with me individually. There were some people who I could say by names, but that's not something that's necessary. But I expected to see them somewhere in that building out of one of those days from Tuesday all the way to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know life changed for people, but even if they would have called or contacted me or found me somewhere, I would have made sure that their face was in that building especially someone who I know is worthy of me doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why they didn't come, I've yet to talk to them, because when I run into any of them, I'm going to. That's the question when you see me. I want to know, why weren't you there?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know. Even if it's if I was the reason, I want to know.
Well, everybody ain't able, bruh. Let me just put it like that. Mark Cravens, I see you. Thank you for coming through. What's happening, Nate Williams? Susu, what's up, Susu?
Just want to
Keith,
know,
your microphone is acting up a little scratchy.
is it
Yeah,
Yep.
you okay? Now you're okay.
is
All
it
right.
better?
Yep. Um, there's this man. It's so much stuff. So on Friday, y'all, that was the T-shirt day where everyone wore, or should I say, the Chicago folks wore black
Mm-hmm.
with their beginning year of stepping or you all's event shirt, and the out of towners wore white with their
Thursday.
beginning
That was
year.
Thursday.
Oh, was that
Thursday.
that was Thursday? Okay, wait a minute. Oh, Friday was brown. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, look, I'm all over the place here. uh, uh, so we're still on Thursday. So Thursday, everyone had on their respective colors for the event. And what I think one of the other things that I love so much was that throughout the entire weekend, people understood the assignment. People showed up in proper attire.
Yep.
Hats off, man. Hats off to the people, man. You give y'all selves a round of applause for doing the right thing all through the weekend. I enjoyed that thoroughly.
Now the concept behind that was we wanted everybody to feel welcome, whether they was in the dance years, they was in the dance.
You breaking up a little bit, Irie.
We wanted everybody to represent when they came into the dance, and we also wanted everybody to represent whether they was outside of Chicago or not, because we wanted the people to actually get a visual. We wanted everybody to feel welcome, whether they was in the. So I don't know what's going on.
Breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, we having some. You got a Bluetooth or something in there, Irie?
We also wanted everybody to represent whether they was outside of Chicago or
I
not.
think he got a Bluetooth on.
You could actually get a visual. Everybody to feel welcome.
Brian, can you hear me better?
Yep.
Okay.
Irie, can you hear me? I don't know if you got a Bluetooth or something on in your car, but something, we lost you. We don't hear you.
I'm still going on.
Okay. All right, so let's press forward here.
Go ahead, press forward.
Oh, there you are. Okay, you sounding better now. Okay, so and that was a great concept on Thursday. Now on Friday, this is where I give myself and my crew a little bit of accolades. Friday morning, we had a bus tour. Now all of Thursday was good because it was in the ballroom at the hotel, and everybody had a great time. It was a nice crowd. Everybody, and let me also say that the hotel itself was very beautiful, well maintained, and the staff was very, very hospitable and took care of the business. On Friday morning, myself, Josiah Burt, and the producer lady over here, Miss Poppy Forbes, we did a bus tour on the south side of Chicago, and that thing was hosted by my man Willie Chapman and Chapman Tours, and we had a fantastic time presenting different places around the south side that we remember coming up, and places that we had stepped in back in the day. Now, did we miss some? Yes, we did, because it wasn't possible to hit all of them, but we did hit the majority of them, and we had a really good time doing it. And I want to give a shout out to everybody who was on our bus that had a fantastic time. Thank you for hanging out with us. And there were a couple other buses that went other places throughout the city as well. Now, that takes me into the workshops. Irie, or better yet, Keith C., how many workshops were there in total?
Well, I think Irie probably could, because he did programming, and that was his
Oh,
baby.
okay, that's his area. Irie?
That's his area. But I really wanted to mention Rudy Dodden. He was more for our
Oh,
graphics, and he did that website, more
I'm gonna get to
convention.
him. Look,
Yeah,
yeah,
man,
Rudy
Rudy did a
did
great
that.
job. Great job.
He
But
did a
Irie
phenomenal
can,
job.
he can talk more about the program as far as the workshops.
Okay,
Oh,
so Irie,
you hear me now?
yeah. We got you now. What in total, how many workshops were there?
There was 9. There was 9 and 11. There was 11 on, no, 10 on Friday and 11 on Saturday.
Wow. And I promise you, there were enough workshops that if you are a stepper, I don't care what you needed. If you didn't get it over this weekend, you ain't gonna find it nowhere. Now I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
And let me say something about the work.
yeah.
Let
The
me say,
workshop. Oh, he's talking to her.
let me say something about the workshops because there was a complaint about the size of the room. Now, the reason I scheduled the workshop the way I did had 3 of them going on at the same time, 2-hour intervals. The reason I did it because I knew people there for the workshop before, but that even didn't work. So we had way more people than I expected. So while all the workshops were overfilled to capacity, and because we only had a room, and we knew we wanted to divide and separate the people being all workshops all at the same.
Okay. Hey, Irie, hold on one second. Okay, somebody, and I'm thinking it's you, Keith. You got some speakers going on in the background. Uh, is that you? Because we getting some echo and feedback.
Okay, might be.
Yeah. And quit playing with your computer because we can hear all of that, sir. Okay. Go ahead, Irie. Finish
So
telling
that's
us.
I was just saying about the workshop room sizes. The reason we didn't have them real big because we was having 3 workshops at a time
At a
each.
time, right?
Yeah, that's why they wasn't real big. But we didn't expect that all the people. Well,
Man.
we should have because it was free anyway. The workshops were free, so we
Yeah.
should have expected it. But we thought people was going to be out doing other things. There's so much other things outside the building to do
Yeah,
as well.
some of those workshops were quite large. In terms of attendance, I really was shocked by a couple of them, and I think a couple of the instructors were a little bit overwhelmed. But it just shows you the popularity of certain things and certain people.
Because actually we had a day party going on all at the same time. It was 3. It was all the workshops, the day parties, and then you still had seminars that we had the etiquette, we had the
Mm-hmm.
separate history, and we had the separate financial health. We had all of that going on all at the same time.
Right. You definitely had to pick and choose.
Yes.
And what I think one of the things that I found most fascinating about the event overall was the way so many people literally was fighting to get rest in between the stuff that they wanted to do. It was like by Friday, people were tired. That's when you know you did a hell of an event. Not to mention the fact, let me also say this. The hotel was well placed. I don't know if it's a hotel that was well placed or the restaurants, but the fact that you could get Harold's Chicken right around the corner, you could get Giordano's Pizza up the street, and I could go on all day about how close the good stuff was. So that was a plus.
Yes.
Okay, so on Friday, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. My initial thought about brown, I personally love to wear brown, but brown is a rough color, I think. But let me say this. Man, my people look good. You hear me? I'm talking about look like a whole chocolate ball. I'm talking about just look good. That brown was banging, man. It was banging. I'm going to just say that.
Well, what's going to happen is you're probably going to see a lot of brownout parties now after that.
Yeah. Well, That was a wonderful, wonderful thing, and
I
I
want to go.
thoroughly.
That and the exception for that was Vic Damone. He always staged a brown party out of Oakland, and what happened was, like I said initially, when we put the dates together, we didn't know we were stepping on his date, annual date.
Oh,
So basically, we received a call. We came with a compromise, and I just
okay.
told Vic, I said, Damone, why don't you take Shades of Brown weekend in Oakland on a road trip to Chicago's
Mm.
homecoming, and we'll dedicate one night to you. And
Thank you for telling us that. That's a fantastic idea. And that shows you right there that people can compromise and that we can work things out. And it doesn't always have to be a big beef when there's some conflict of interest. It can be addressed.
and
Excellent job.
trust me, Oakland showed up. And
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They was deep in the house for sure.
Yeah.
A
Yes,
lot
they were.
California was deep, period.
Yes, it
California
was.
came and clown
Mhm.
for sure. Um, so moving past Friday and into Saturday.
Hold on before you go.
Go ahead, Keith. Come on.
Let's back up a minute. I wanted to make a comment about those workshops.
Go ahead.
From what I hear, the people were real pleased with the instructors, the way they taught. I heard some wonderful things I hadn't heard in quite a long time when it came to workshops, period. It was good to hear from so many people the different, and let's go to walking for 1 sec. I'll go to that
Oh
just
boy,
for that.
big workshop.
Now, everybody has a different idea on walking a little bit, and rightfully so, I think, because of your time in it and so on and so forth. But what I did hear is that they really enjoyed the walking instructors because, stepping has always been, walking came up later in terms of teaching. So they wanted to go, and those workshops were really large. They were in there. Those people got in those classes, all of them, but they got in there walking, and I was glad to see it when I saw it. So hats off to everybody, and thank you all for joining the walking aspect. Thank you.
Also, the workshops also had another different spin on it as well. Because what I want to do, Brian, most of the people that was instructing the workshops, they were people that didn't travel outside of Chicago, and they was not known for doing instructing anyway. So
Very true.
I added them in there just so the out of towners can meet them and get another different perspective on stepping in the culture by getting taught some gems. They didn't, all you had to do is take a gem out of each class, and you got something. So that was the
Absolutely.
other reason why I hired some of the other and asked some of the other workshop instructors that had never really did works. Like, for instance, the Fox sets.
Oh man, they put in work.
Yeah.
They
But
put in work.
they're not known for doing workshops, but they obliged me because I told them, hey, the people need to meet you guys, and they need
Yes,
some of those gems that y'all have.
absolutely. And they
And
did give some. In fact, I DJ'd one of those workshops with them in it, and they did a phenomenal job. And they gave a lot of information, a lot of history.
yeah, it's like Dee Dee and Claudel together, and stuff like that. What we was trying to manifest that in the workshops.
I
One
want
more other
to
thing before you go to
go ahead. Come on.
Brown night. Also, Keith, what we want to do, we really want to highlight walking, which we did. But that's why we hired Stuart Orlando Morgan to come out and do walking songs live. See, that was another aspect that had never ever happened in the stepping community. We all hired the Carmichaels, the Cardales, and all of that to do stepping songs, but nobody had ever hired anybody to do walking songs. So that was another niche that we included in the program.
Yeah, that's true. And I always enjoy Stuart Orlando Morgan when he does his thing. In fact, I've been at events with him over the last 3 years that I've thoroughly enjoyed. He does a phenomenal job, and I thought it was really good to have that live singing going on while people were actually getting a walk on. Let me also, I got so many things that I can say and that I would like to say about this event, but let me say this. This is one of my overall takeaways from this event, and I got to give you guys props for this. The fact that you had the notion to, like you said just a minute ago, bring in people who don't travel in teaching these workshops, and particularly the walking workshops. But what was more important to me and what I took away from this entire event was, for so long, for many years, we have dealt with what I see as divisions in the community in regard to dance style. There are individuals who are in love with the new school. There are individuals who will never release the original. And with that, this was an opportunity for the marriage of clarity and understanding to come together, for people to really get some true knowledge about how one went from that to the other and how they are still the same. And as Daryl Davis would put it, one dance with many variations, and understand that there is no reason for division within this community in that regard, and that we can coexist as we should. But the reason people reject things and dislike things is because they don't understand it. When you learn to understand something, then it becomes more clear. And this event allowed for so many people from different eras of this dance to coexist on one dance floor. And you didn't have people in there. What is that? What is this? What are they doing? They can't dance. They can't dance.
Right.
It was none of that.
You brought up a good point.
Everybody came together.
You brought up a good point, Brian, and that's what
Yes,
the workshop did.
absolutely.
The
Absolutely,
workshop,
absolutely.
we added every aspect of the dance we could, from walking to originals to new school. We had it all.
Everything. It was all there. Daryl Davis even taught the slow bop. Come on, man.
That's right.
Come
We
on.
had it all.
When have you ever seen that in one setting? Ever.
Right.
It ain't never happened. This was a first. Woodstock, the Woodstock of stepping. That's all I'm gonna say.
Absolutely.
This was it.
Absolutely.
Brian, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
When you first walked into the Friday night room, what was your take when you first walked in there?
You mean before the event when we went over there?
Yeah, before the event when we went over there, as they were setting up, what was you thinking about the size?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Irie. I had no doubt. Number one, about the size. I had no doubt about the attendance. I had no, I'm a little bit of a prognosticator when I want to be. I already had certain expectations of this event, and I was not let down. I know how McCormick is set up. I've been there many, many times. And when you first told me that this was going to be at the McCormick, the only thing I could think of was, doggone, this thing is going to be huge. But then as I began to dig into the community, and as you know, I get lots of phone calls and a lot of information come across my desk, I started to really understand the magnitude of what this was going to be. And I also understood that there would be nothing, had been nothing like this in the past, and there would likely be nothing moving forward. And when I walked into that room, I recognized the vastness of the room based on my own experience of having been there. And my immediate thought was, this dance floor ain't big enough. but even with that, I don't think that there was any real surprise or shock for me, because I have every confidence, and I had every confidence at that time. I have always known you as a person who produces. a person who has the ability. I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't know about anybody else, Irie, and I don't want to make it seem like I'm in here, patting you all on the back and all of that right there. But I'm gonna just be real, real frank with you right here, bro. I don't know anyone else that could have pulled this off. Now it's just really, and then when I say that, I'm not just talking about the room or the just the fact that you all were able to orchestrate this on this scale. I don't know anybody who has the ability to reach out to so many quality instructors, quality DJs, other facilitators, and people who have the ability, knowledge, and reach to do the things that they did and get that many people to cooperate on this scale. I don't know anybody else that could do that. For that, brother, I thank you. That is a monumental feat. Now, I'm not saying there's nobody else that couldn't do it, but I'm just saying I don't know them. So I'm gonna leave that right there. Anyway, the fact that Keith C and Mona C, I love you all's presence. No, let me see how can I put this? Your quiet, present, very present energy that is confident and exudes a level of strength and identity that makes other people look to you. That is amazing to me. Keith Hubbard, who was holding my hand through from the minute I walked through the hotel door, because I had a little lightweight altercation myself, and kept it even all the way across the board. Made sure, because Mona had people say to me that you checked on them. You made sure they were okay. Keith, I know for a fact you did the same. That is not easy to do. Especially when I know, I don't care what y'all tell me, when I know that there are things that go on behind the scenes, little fires that get put out, and situations that come up. I watch somebody go into a panic, and Keith in his monotone, oh, don't worry about that. Come on over here. I'll take care of that. And it's over with.
Absolutely.
And it's over. Come on, man. That's a beautiful thing. And that is not something to take lightly. And it's not something that you're going to get from people whose agendas do not warrant the care of the people, the care of the patrons and the individuals, the real heavy hitters who spent their money, their plane fare, their time, their clothes, their energy to come and share with everybody else. Come on, man. That's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
Can I elate behind that?
Please.
In order for you to say that, you know what you've been through.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I'm not saying you saying it for this reason or that reason, but it take people to understand what you just said the right way. And you meant that from your heart. I can feel it all the way over
Absolutely.
here. And that's something that I think that they need to bring back to the table. Because all of y'all deserve to be respected by one another. There's no way around it. You do. You deserve that. Your mother and father made that possible. Why don't you get that? You should. Don't make it about the money. We get the money. We need to get the people.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to make sure all the time that everybody has that blessing from us, that that you're having a great time, and if there's anything we can help you with, we want to help you. We don't want to see you without it. But how can we get the rest of the events and the people that's moving forward from this day on to recognize that that's the important part of the event?
The people.
So I want to add to that, Keith. I want to add to that with you and Brian. That's why we did certain things, because we didn't want the community to be separated by experience, or we didn't want them to be separated by celebrity status, and that's why we didn't have reserved tables. Do you know that's the main reason we have reserved tables? Is because We wanted everybody to be on an equal plane.
That's it.
And guess what? It worked. It worked.
I believe everybody who came into that room felt on level playing field
Yes.
and equally happily danced together, no matter what so-called status that one has or didn't have. People got an opportunity to dance with people they only see on videos, and I
Yes.
thought that was a beautiful, beautiful
Yeah, it
thing.
was.
Well, I have a question. El Lamar wants to know, for the panel, what toll in your personal lives did this impact? Did it have did it take any sort of a toll, or did it have an impact on how you move or operate, and how did you recharge outside of
I'm
drinking?
still recuperating.
See?
I've been drinking 2 teas a day, just trying to get my throat and voice together. I am still recuperating from this.
Mm-hmm.
It was a bit much. Yeah, it was good though. It was real good.
Okay, what about you, Keith?
Man, my feet had swole up. It just
He said, my feet swole
my
up.
foot had swole. I had to go to the emergency room. I said, man, this is crazy. But man, I've been on cloud nine. I'm finally coming back down to earth, man. It was just humbling to be part of that. And from a thought that when I met Irie back in May of 23, and I approached him right outside that nightclub, and when I had that idea, and he was open-minded enough to at least hear me out, and then turn around in September, we moved full forward on it. September of last year, that's when we actually got started on this event. But it was in my head in May of 23 at Stepper Union,
Yeah.
right outside that nightclub. And like you said, Brian, there's a lot of great promoters, but Irie, that's the GOAT. I'm gonna just say it. Yes, that's the GOAT, man. It's a lot of great promoters now, but
Irie?
Yes. Well, my perspective is the people come first. I've always been like
Absolutely.
that because of my
Oh,
spirituality.
you can do that all day long. We don't see you.
Always been to be my brother's keeper. So
Mhm.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do everything in my power where I am going to try to get the best value for the people that is
Absolutely.
attending the event. And as far as me being, the only thing that happened with me was the back and forth walking because I never used the scooter. My
Ooh-wee.
killing me too, but I am going to, I am going to, I
All
am
that
going,
walking.
yeah, I am going to piss off the rest of the committee and the promoter.
I missed that. You got stuck.
Yeah, like you froze.
Wait a minute. We got a muted mic. I need you to unmute Keith. Keith Hubbard, you done muted your mic, man. Okay. Okay, y'all. I'm working through some details here. Y'all hang with me. Trying to see what we
Can you see
okay,
me
there
now?
we go. All right. Look, I'm we moving stuff around because Ken finally got he got himself on camera here. So we're gonna boot this other one out right quick, and we're gonna
Hello.
okay, remove. There we go.
Yeah, I remember.
All right, now we got you. Okay. Ari checked out on us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
he had made a statement. I wanted to hear when he didn't finish.
yeah. Well, he was talking, and then he dipped out. I'm sure he'll be back in a second. So
Yeah.
we'll hold tight. In the meantime, we can continue on.
Mhm.
So the other thing. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, here we go. I enjoyed every aspect of the event, and I really hated that I had to. Ken, I really did not intend to miss your cookout. That was what happened. Was I had a scheduling shift because originally we were supposed to be there from Wednesday to Wednesday, and I had a scheduling shift, and I had some meetings that I needed to attend on Monday, so I had to get my tail on a plane on Sunday
Don't
and get
miss it
on
next
down.
year. Next year with this team, ooh, man.
Well,
You heard Mona
I'm
say she's gonna
gonna
help next year. I'm gonna hold you to
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Wait. Before you talk about that, you didn't finish asking us the question. You asked two people the question and left two people
Well,
out.
who I leave out?
Well, you was asking them a question before I went out, and then you didn't get our
Well,
response.
I asked. Mona came straight in and she said,
Yeah, and
"Okay,
I waited.
okay, come on."
No,
A matter of fact,
yeah,
Keith C, we didn't hear from you on that tip.
yeah.
And we talked about his
Tell us what
food.
personal toll it took on you,
No,
brother.
I told you I was in my foot had swelled up. I had to make my speech.
Oh, okay, right. All right, so Keith Hubbard,
You
you
know
it
what? Yeah.
tag, you
Mm.
it.
Well, for me, the personal, it's always been personal day one. So, for me, but the emotional part for me was they showed up and I got a chance to stand there and actually watch it happen. This was something that I've been watching for decades. So for me, man, it still hadn't hit me yet. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like it still hasn't really hit me. But man, when I stood there, I think on one night, at one day, particular day, I think it was Saturday, they were having an issue about the holding the tables,
Oh
and
boy.
I had gotten, I had gotten so emotionally disconnected, man. I couldn't even hold it. I was, because if not, my other side would showed up, and God said, "Let those tears flow, man." I couldn't hold it, man. I just said, you know what, guys, ladies and gentlemen, let me explain one thing to y'all from me, from my heart, from the rest of us. I'm speaking for everybody on this team. We want y'all to sit with your friends. Promise we do. We really do. But you know what? There's a protocol to some of those things.
Yeah.
And then when I saw two people getting into it about a seat, I could, I was
Yeah.
done. I was done. So my emotions for everybody to have the time of their life and me be a part of that, that's where I'm still unwinding from that, Brian. I really am, man. And I'm so
Yeah.
grateful to all
I
y'all.
actually had a young
Mhm.
lady approach me
Yes.
about the table. There was a table she was attempting to sit at, and someone in the community, a very well known individual, was very, she explained to me, rude and snappy with her about the
I,
table. He was, I guess, saving seats or something for
I heard
somebody, and
about it. Yes, sir.
that almost turned into a thing. And
It did.
I want to say this. That, and I explained to her, please do not allow that incident to overshadow your time at this event, because it's way bigger than that and that person. And the fact that for the larger scale majority, our people were very much on their best behavior.
They were.
Our
Were.
people did a phenomenal job
They
Mm.
did. They did.
about being present, being helpful, being mindful of others. And for that, I very much appreciate um, everyone who did their part in that regard.
They did.
You know,
They
thank
did.
y'all.
They did.
I'm rearranging these things here because I gotta. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we got everybody back right
I
now.
have to say that out of towners are normally extremely polite and mannerable anyway, and you had a majority of them there, and that made a big difference too.
Right.
I mean, everybody walking the hallway, hey, how you doing? Where you from?
Yeah,
That,
I
that,
enjoyed that. The fact that people were so doggone
mhm.
friendly and
Mhm.
just mindful of one another, and people were constantly just enjoying each other's company, and I thought that was great. I'm not gonna lie, I personally just, somebody on this feed earlier made a comment and said they wish they could bottle up all the hugs and kisses and love they got this
Yes.
weekend
Yes.
and hold on
Yes.
to it.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
agree with that.
Yes.
That's a beautiful
Yes, sir.
thing.
Yes, it is.
So,
Man. Yes, it is.
all right, let me see if we got any other.
Hey, can you see me? Can you see me finally?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we can
got
see
you.
you now.
We
Yeah,
see that big old smile. We
yeah.
got you.
I gotta thank my wife, Terry, my beautiful wife. She would run around trying to get this stuff. I don't know how to do all this stuff. She had to get this thing on my knees right there. Come here, honey.
All right. So
There
all right.
you
So
go.
we've
Hey, Terry.
gotten that far. Now, the
Someone
main event.
waving at-
I was
I don't know.
I think this happened on Friday too, but on Saturday it really kind of tripped me out because I had been in the room doing my setup for the show, but it really tripped me out that, like, I think the doors were supposed to open at 7, 6 o'clock. People were literally coming in dressed and getting seated. This was if you weren't there then and on time, well, I feel bad for you. But it didn't really matter, I don't think, because of the simple fact that people were dancing in the aisles. People were dancing on the floor. People were dancing everywhere. Listen, you got good music, you got good people in one place, ain't but one thing gonna happen, and it happened. It was phenomenal. I was glad to see that we had participation from the mayor coming through.
Yes.
And as Irie said, we had Stuart Orlando Morgan doing his thing. And man, I think I've run out of good things that I can say. And I only run out of them because I think I've said everything there is to say. It don't get no better than this.
I want to.
What else do you say to that?
I want to share something with you.
Go ahead.
There was a gentleman, without saying his name.
Mm-hmm.
He said that the event helped him pay a bill that was really needed to be paid.
Wow.
The gentleman was about to lose his vehicle.
Mm.
They were coming to get it.
Wow.
And the fact that we were able to let him eat at the table,
Mm-hmm.
he thanked us tremendously for allowing him to be able to continue on with what we allowed him or others to do. And I think a lot of the people need to understand what these events can do to help everybody succeed in that area. They need to get to that point. What can we all do to keep the lights on in your house, the food on your table, things like that? That's what they need to be getting to and not just overlook. It's not just about big me, little you. We have to continue to put food on your table. How we do that? That's my question.
Let me
Keith?
piggyback off of that.
Go ahead, Irie, because I got something to say about that too. Go ahead.
Because we never talked about the vending. The vendors were allowed to come in and vend free if they spent at least 2 nights in the hotel. And I'm gonna tell you something. The vendors were thanking us because they made googogs of money and caught up on a lot of bills. That's
Hell, I spent money with them. Don't play no games.
So the vendors everybody was happy. The vendors was really, really happy. And basically it was, like I said, it was something to behold because like I said, we wanted everybody to eat.
Yeah.
We really wanted everybody to eat. So.
Well, I'm gonna say this here. In that regard, my immediate thought when I talked to some people who were more, oh well, ain't no money and this kind of thing. And the only thing I thought to myself was, how do you not take an audience like this and capitalize off of it? And here's what I mean, because I'm going to go down a list. If you are a vendor of any kind with this event, you should have taken the opportunity to promote whatever business, hustle, or anything else that you do. You should have had a table there set up promoting your stuff. Number one. And it could have been anybody.
Yep.
Because
that's number one.
We allowed all the promoters, if they want, you notice we had all the promoters could come in and set up their banners anywhere and everywhere.
And for those of you who don't know what he's talking about, when you came into the event center and you saw all those banners lined up at the wall, that was the promoters who gave a damn and put their banners up.
Sure is.
Now, let's talk about instructors.
Hmm.
If you, as an instructor, felt like not volunteering your time to participate in this, I need you to understand the lost opportunity. Do you understand how many people whose phone numbers you could get? Do you know that people pay big money for information for people that's going to spend money with them? This is what advertisers do. That's why they do what they do. You literally had access to thousands of people who are a part of this niche community that you could have later made your money off of in being able to provide them with your services, skills, or products. Let's talk about the DJs. If you were a DJ, especially those who don't have the skill set maybe or the reach to be able to get called to come to California, to be able to get called to go to New York,
Preach.
you had an opportunity to play in front of every local promoter
Yep.
across the country, every regional promoter across the country, every national promoter across the country, individuals who want to be promoters, who might have said, damn, I like the way that guy play. Call him next time we have a set. You had all these people in one place. All I'm saying is, you got those who say, well, I ain't going to get my money if I play here today. Then you got those who say, I ain't going to miss this opportunity because I see the big picture and the money down the road. If we just going to be on money.
You
I'm
better
just
say
saying.
it.
Because I
Yes,
definitely
sir.
got some hookups, and I got some folks that's calling for me now.
Let me say something about that.
Say
Go
it.
ahead, Ken.
That same thing happens to me every year, and I would tell you, and the Roddy Mac will tell you, every year. When we first started, I said, would you please play at the cookout? They said, man, I'm missing the payday. I said, okay. And now they fighting like mad to get on. I have a list. That's one of the things I don't have to worry about is getting a DJ, because they put themselves in front of that crowd. They want to be in front of that crowd. And it's the same kind of thing here. The exposure is more than, do you know
It's
when
worth
people,
more than the money you're going to get.
right? I used to work for Oprah Winfrey, and these people would come on her show, and Johnny Carson. Those artists don't get paid, but the exposure was that if you had a book and you appeared on Oprah Winfrey show, the next day it was New York's
He was a
bestseller.
millionaire. He was a
New
millionaire.
York bestseller.
And so you have to realize that a lot of the acts that I bring to town, I don't nearly have to pay the full price because they're on a promotion thing.
Yeah.
And so therefore they say, look, if you can present my book or a new record in front of all these people, then we talk a deal. And
That's it.
because I couldn't be able to afford Charlie Wilson, Shantae Moore, half the guys that I've gotten, except
That's
for
right.
that. It's the same thing here. This was a golden opportunity. And one other thing I want to say, everybody that I've seen since that are so-called regular steppers, they said, man, how did I miss that? I'm so sorry I missed it.
A lot of people.
Let
I
me
had a.
let me tell you
they-
something, Brian. The people that was there that didn't even get a T-shirt, they want T-shirts now, just so they can document that they were there.
That's right.
They want the T-shirt after the fact because they didn't buy one while they was there. Now it has gotten so big and so iconic, they want to buy the T-shirt after the fact now.
I don't know who. Somebody reached out to me the other day. I don't even remember who it was or how the conversation went, but they were like, "Oh, I didn't even know about it." And I'm like, what were you? And you know what I told him? I said, well, clearly you don't watch Inside Stepping, because if you did, you'd have known better. But this thing, if ever another attempt is made at anything this epic, it is going to be next level. Nobody's going to miss it. Nobody in their right mind anyway. And the crazy thing is, I'm not real big on mega sets, but this one felt like home. That was so weird, to be in a room with that many people and still feel like you were present in the room with everybody else.
You know why too? You know why? One of the reasons probably could have been people came back out that hadn't been out in a while too.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of old faces, people you hadn't
Yes.
seen in a long time.
Now,
Yeah,
here's the thing.
they showed up,
Here's the
man.
thing. It was done in Chicago, where it started. I said this before. The Kentucky Derby is in Kentucky.
There you go.
Indianapolis 500 is there.
Indianapolis. That's right.
Stepping is here, and it's just that simple. When the word got out that any type of magnanimous convention was going to be held here, that's a no-brainer. No-brainer.
Absolutely. That was my immediate thought too, Ken. I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard that, my immediate thought was,
Yeah.
how could you not come to this?
How can you not?
Exactly.
How can you not be in the city of Chicago and not attend this?
And
Like,
another thing, Ira did detail every stepper promoter in the country.
Yep.
Alphabetically. I said, wow, where did he get this? I didn't know that many groups existed.
listen, he had a
Every
list
group.
with every organization
Everybody.
throughout the whole country. Small ones I ain't never even heard of
Man.
was on that list.
That's
I
right.
never-
That is right.
That's crazy. But
You-
that
And it
shows
all-
you the
and
level
it
of
all
detail.
and it all emanated from Chicago.
Well, look at this, Brian. You even
Mhm.
reached out and gave love to a guy that was sitting at the front door.
Yes.
Way out there. I've been knowing that guy since in the concert days, man. And
Okay.
you reached out and showed him some love from that guy, from the person in the bathroom, and those are the ones that they don't get no kind of
Absolutely.
man.
Take care of everybody, man.
Everybody, yeah.
And I want to add this too as well. You know, there was some promoters that was upset. You know that they was upset that we took on this task with certain promoters that was on the team. Now I'm gonna admit this because I always like to be truthful. They asked me, Irie, why? Why did you pick them? I said I didn't pick them. They picked me.
Hmm.
You understand what I'm
Imagine that.
saying? They picked me. In other words, they had the fortitude and the insight to understand, to come to me directly and say, "Hey, we'd like to work with you."
Mhm.
Don't you know how much courage that takes for them to do
Yeah.
that?
Hey man, that goes back to the humility conversation. That goes back to people understanding that first of all, this dance is undefeated. It is no one individual, no group or organization is bigger than this dance.
No.
If you're not in it for the dance, you're in it for the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can figure that out, you can have a phenomenal event just like this one. Well, no, you can't. Not just like this one. But anyway, it's critically important, in my opinion, that people that are really paying attention, especially my promoters, listen to me, y'all. Take notes. Let this be a blueprint, a guideline, a bellwether for you to take away and use, if not all, some of the gems that you should have gleaned from this event to make your event better and to be able to make your life easier where these sorts of things are concerned. Because too many of y'all are trying really hard to reinvent the wheel. It doesn't need reinvention.
Well, let me add another gem to the topic.
Mhm.
We're at an age, we're in an environment where the economy is reeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told several promoters already, it's going to be hard to stand alone. That's why you got all these other companies and corporations, they're
Merge.
merging or
Yep.
they're being taken over, but it's still a merger. So that's what the separate promoters are going to have to do in this environment. Get together and throw the party together.
Absolutely. The
Throw
time
the
is coming
party
where they're going to be
together.
forced. You're right.
Of course. They're
Mhm.
Let me
gonna be
give an
forced.
example of that. Let me give an example of that. Exactly what you said, Ira, is exactly the Black United Promoters in show business. These guys put together Patti LaBelle,
Yep.
Shaka Khan,
Yep.
all
There
that.
you go.
They never could have done this by themselves. And they said, we are not fighting against each other. We're going to join together.
That's
And
right.
they put Howard Hewitt on there. They had
Yep.
Padlet Bill,
Yep.
Shaka Khan, and and Stephanie Mills on the same show. And they're doing it over and over again around the country, and they're making a tremendous success. I mean,
so that's what we're doing. What
yeah.
I'm doing is that's what I'm doing moving forward. I'm not trying to do this stuff by myself. I'm doing it with other promoters. We're going to join forces.
It's the best way.
That's the best way right now. It's the best way.
That's common sense. Yep.
Common sense.
Now, in as much as that is a beautiful concept and a wonderful idea and something that should take place, I have to give a word of caution to my promoters out there. Everyone is not worthy. Be very mindful and careful of who you decide to align yourself with, because we are surrounded in a pit of snakes. There
Yes,
are
we are.
individuals who have all sorts of nefarious intent.
Yep.
There are people right under your own nose in your own camp who
That's
will
true.
sink their teeth dead into you and anybody around you for their own gratification.
Well, you got to
So
vet
be
people.
very careful.
You have to make
Yes.
sure you vet people, and then
Make
you have
sure
to
they
have,
are vetted. That's right.
and you have to do a lot.
I
And
gave that vetting speech some time ago, and I tell my audience, and I will continue to, and I'll just use this time to put that out here again. Always ask questions. Always find out about the people that you're dealing with. Ask others that have done business with them. They should come with references. The truth never minds being questioned, only the lie. So if you can't ask about them and make sure that they are everything that they say they are, or what you want to be for your event to happen, stay away. Stick with the people that's going to do things the right way. And I'm only saying this because I hate to add these levels of what would appear to be negativity, but we don't need any more nonsense. We don't need any more BS, and definitely we don't need people being put in a place where they are trusting that your event is going to be one thing or another, and it turns out not to be, and you've lied to the people, and you've taken their money, and you've done different things that should not be done. At least if you have a group of people, there are checks and balances, and you all can account for one another. These things are a good thing. Work with people in your circle, within your city, within your region, and make beautiful things happen. Make beautiful music. Give the people something to sink their teeth into.
let me give you one footnote to that.
I want to say something when as soon as Ken get done. Quickly. First thing, I'd like to have a person next to me. Can you all hear me?
Go ahead.
And
We see that beautiful young lady.
They want to say thank you.
Thank you for letting me vend.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, hope you make some money.
Put some of
good?
that. She made some money to put towards her
No.
college fund.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, girl.
Yeah. One other thing I want to say something before I get too far out of. Let's go even one step further as to helping your events. This goes to all the promoters and people who are working with you. Everybody needs to be in places to help everybody, because you never know when that's going to show up. You can't just be sitting in one spot. You need to move around your event. Some of you all get to these tables and sit down and cross your legs and you're big shots. You better stop doing that coming from your board. Get up and check your staff and check your guests,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going to show you what happened. I was on that scooter. Everybody was messing with me about this scooter. I rode that scooter from front end to back, up the stairs, down the stairs, and out in the back. I was everywhere with it. Particularly evening, I was coming across that bridge. I turned the corner, and there was Miss Mary. Miss Mary's turned 80 years of age. Happy birthday. She's coming up to Miss
Still
Mary.
doing
out
her
of the
thing.
ATL, still doing her thing. She was coming across that bridge, and y'all know that bridge is long when you stand back and look at it from the outside.
Yes,
Boy, that's
sir.
like that's a long way to look. So what I did was I went by her, and me and Miss Mary been knowing each other, but we've never done business together, but we've always been cordial. This is what I'm getting at. Just because she doesn't do business with me, don't mean I need to disrespect her place in being. What I did was I turned around on that scooter I was on and went back, and I got up and walked. I gave that scooter to Miss Mary.
Mm-hmm.
and let her go ahead on. I walked all the way back.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
And
right.
when she got on that scooter, let me tell you something. It was a sight because Miss Mary took off. She hit that she hit that accelerator
She was
on that
gone.
scooter.
She was glad to get
She had to
through.
laugh. She had to laugh herself. That thing almost did a Willie when she hit that button. I said, "Go on, Miss Mary." She was gone. But she gave me a hug. She said, "You know what? Thank you." And it was just something I think that we need to get back to. Let's make sure we take care of people. That's what I want everybody to
Absolutely.
do. Yeah, felt good about it.
Absolutely. I say it all the time on this show, about us all taking care of each other. It's just unfortunate that we got so many black-hearted people that operate inside this community, but we are a microcosm of a macro world.
Well, here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
Mhm.
If I might add, the
Mhm.
thing about Chicago is that there's an ego problem. We
Ooh,
can't
it
seem to
ain't just Chicago, Ken. It ain't just
cannot
Chicago,
get
but go
together.
ahead.
That's why
Right.
something like this has never been able. I've been talking about doing a weekend convention for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
If you go back and look on Facebook page and different stuff, I've been advocating. I said there needs to be somebody well respected in this stepping thing that we would all follow into. And just like the mafia would do, the mafia would say, look, Brian, you take the north side, Keith, you take the south side, Ken, you take the east side, and whatever. And anybody else, they either have to join us or we squash them. That's
That's
the way
it.
the syndicate did. And it's business, and and we would support you, and then we wouldn't step on each other's toes. That's where the mob did it. Now,
Mm-hmm.
here,
That's
there's
Chicago all day.
we have more we have more groups and organizations in this town than any other place. You can step in Chicago every single day of the week
Mm-hmm.
and twice on Saturday and Sunday, at
Mm-hmm.
least. Am I right or wrong? Right?
Please.
And so, why weren't we able to get together? And I thought about it. I thought about, one guy says, well, I want to do it. There are guys that are giving events that are not making any money. There's guys making money that are making a lot of money, but that's few.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big ego thing. So we got to put out. And what I saw here was that the egos and all that were put aside. This group now, Rodney and Mac, I must say, and Ira. That's why we've always been together. We all do our things separate. We've all
Mm-hmm.
been together. We all attend each other's events for years. Not just this has been for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so we don't have that ego problem. None of us. But there's so many other people that I've been around do have that ego problem, and I see that the ego problem stopped us all from growing.
Well, you know what, Ken. I'm gonna add to what you're saying because I am a member of what is known as the collaboration, and that is myself, Josiah Burt, uh, William Owens, and Daryl Smooth Greenwood. We are all Chicago natives. We all live outside the city. But what I realized in operating with those gentlemen who actually operate in this same capacity is that we all have our own things going on. So when we come together, we become very strong as a unit. Economically, skills, equipment, time, energy, talents, we are a complete package. We operate without ego. If we have an internal problem, that problem gets solved internally and it gets squashed. I said that to say this. Generally, what I've noticed is that people who tend to have the most problems are generally people who don't have a lot of their own stuff going on.
Mhm.
These are people who are often chasing fame, if you will, attention, accolades, money. They're chasing everything except the need to serve. When you don't care about serving, the only thing you're going to serve is yourself.
Yep.
When you serve others, what you're going to get from that comes automatically. But
Yep.
some folks got the game twisted around very, very backwards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brian, you're right. Real quick though, but
Go ahead, Ken.
and you hit the nail part of it on the head. What it was not really initially when I came to Irie, it was not. I wasn't thinking, man, I'm gonna make a ton of money. No, that was not. That was not it. It was not money driven. I was more thinking of having a great event and trying to bring people together and to have an opportunity for me to DJ in front of a big crowd. I'm just
And
keep
you
it
did
real.
that, by the way. You
You know,
did your
but
damn thing.
that was the key. It wasn't money driven. I mean, we all, but we're not trying to let pay people to dance. Absolutely not. But you're not just driven. I'm money, money, money. And Irie made a great point. You really don't want people to keep digging in their pocket once they come to your event, and that makes a lot of sense. You know, you're not trying to hurt people. You want them to come and enjoy themselves as well as not just spending all their money.
That's right. They shouldn't have to sell their first child to come do it.
Now I'm a very strong advocate of that because all my events are free.
Yeah.
All summer long, every one of them have been huge. Now, why do I do it? But out of love and the service I get back. And look what I'm getting from the people. The people love every event I do.
Yeah,
absolutely,
Everything.
absolutely.
Now, hopefully, I think corporate America one day can see this and say, "Wow," and then I'll get paid that way. Or maybe
it's actually, I believe that is coming. I honestly believe, because something continues to draw me to this. But it's like I feel like stepping is still, and a lot of people would want to disagree with me, but in the grand scheme of dance genres, stepping is in its, I don't want to say infancy anymore. It is beginning to grow up. It is a long way from adulthood, and there is a time where the tables are going to turn, and those who have put in the work and did the bleeding and the sweating, the payoff is coming, and it ain't these little penny ante, this little change that some folks is making and think they're doing big things. It's bigger fish to fry, and it's coming. I really do feel that.
I do want to say something to some of the events so they don't get twisted with our message on what we do versus what other events do or have to do. Some events have a price on or price tag on the event, and I think it's more connected to them wanting to serve dinner or each night or that kind of thing, and that can be costly for the F&Bs of some of these hotels in particular because that's what they serving on that food thing. So some of these events still have decent prices, but the thing that could make it different is the fact that they serving food. And I think that makes the difference on the pricing. You know the ones that's gouging, but then you also know the ones that because they want to serve dinner. Because we have some people around us that they have good events, but they wanted to serve dinner. It's a choice of their own. You know what I'm getting at? It's a choice of their own. So I just want to make sure I put that out there.
Okay. Well, listen, I want each of you to give us your final thoughts and to take us out of here. Ken, I'd like to start with you, and then we'll go to Mona and Keith, and we're gonna call it. We're gonna get up out of here, y'all. We've been on 2 hours. That's a milestone for Inside Stepping.
First of all, I just want to say,
wait a minute. Hold it. Stop. I'm sorry, Ken. Hold on, because I gotta address this. Y'all know what the $1 million question is. Do I have to say it?
Well, no, I'll address it.
Thank you. Okay.
We intended this event to be a one-time deal. So it was only going to happen one time, 1 year. So basically, I contracted myself out with another group for 2026. So basically, we're going to have this event near Chicago. It's going to be in a suburb of Chicago. And it's going to be Labor Day weekend. And it's called the Fab 5+1. And it's the Steppers Labor of Love weekend because it's on Labor Day weekend. It's going to be the same thing. You can't beat free. Everything is included. All of that good stuff. But what I don't want the people to do is, if we do decide to do homecoming again, don't skip over the Labor of Love weekend that we're about to have in 26. Now, if we decide to have it again because of the people who not only was there, enjoyed it, but the people who missed out first time. So at this point, we haven't set up anything to have the homecoming again because I'm pretty much tied up on Labor Day weekend next year. But it's a strong possibility that we might have it again.
That's $1 million question. That's a $64,000 question.
Somebody on the feed said 2027. So let's just say it ain't a thing, but don't rule it out.
There you go. Just put
Okay.
it. And
All
I'll
right.
put it to you this way. If it do become a thing, we're not going to let the cat out the bag until after 2026 Labor Day. How about that?
There you go. All right, y'all heard it here. If you have any questions or speculation on what it looks like moving forward, if there's a possibility, let's just say it's been tossed in the air. We'll see what comes down. Ken Bedford, give us your final thoughts, sir.
First of all, I want to thank Ira and Keith and Mona and Keith C for the opportunity to work with you guys. I mean, this was a learning experience for me. I thank God for that. I learned a whole lot that I thought I was doing stuff right, but this was so detailed and so advanced. I mean, this was $1 million operation. It looked like everything first class, a lot of attention to detail. I was amazed. And if I was amazed, I can only imagine how a person who doesn't do any of this kind of stuff would be amortized about it. Because I mean, the magnanimity of this thing was so colossal and it looked so big. And I know what imagery can do. I mean, you walk into this place, this huge ballroom, huge this, huge that, classes, everything. It just it overtakes you, and that's one of the things that people really enjoyed. And then being treated with dignity and respect and love and service, man, it's gonna be hard to beat. It's gonna be hard to beat. And people everywhere I walk, people say, "Man, I'm sorry I missed it." If they missed it, and when you gonna do it again, and this and that, and man. So anyway, I just want to say thank you for them for this wonderful opportunity. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm good. Thank God and thank you guys.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Mona. I want to thank the committee. We had a great committee, a great team. No beef, no nothing. We just glided through this process. It was really great. I want to thank my team, MVK, my girls. They come through. They held it down. I didn't have to think twice. I didn't have to worry about them in regards to just doing what they need to do, and they had their girl back, and so I appreciate that. Also, I want to state that I'm celebrating my birthday, my 60th birthday, in about 37 days. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about 2026, 2027. I'm thinking about my 60th birthday in about 37 days.
You didn't count the days, did you?
Yes, I did.
Well, look, if we doing that, I got 6 days till my
Okay,
6.
happy birthday to
you. Thank you.
Thank you all, Don.
Come on, Keith. Give us something.
Well, yeah, like she said, that's all I'm really thinking about right now. It's 60th birthday.
That's all you better be thinking about unless you want to fight.
I know.
Right. 26, 27, that's my focus. But I really want to thank all the out of towners, really, the in towners, out of towners, everybody that came and was a part of this, because that's what really the Stepping community was what made this historic.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with me at all. It was an idea, and he took a risk. Took a risk on me and decided to move forward on this. So with that, I'm humbled just to be a part of this event, and it's went way beyond my wildest dreams. And like you said, the details, the hard work that was put in. Yeah, it was well worth it to see people enjoy themselves, and I'm just glad to be a part of it. And I'm just trying to get back online now, man. It's been, man.
Rough.
But it's well worth it, man. I am humbled.
My man.
Yep.
All right. Keith H., what you got for me?
Whew, where can I start, man? My list be long, boy. If I go thinking people. Well, first I want to start with God.
Mm-hmm.
He made it possible. Without the Creator, none of this would have even came about in the manner in which it did. I also like to thank the team, for being who they are, because without them, Mona, especially your team, I really want to make sure that I send a love out to them because they were fabulous. Their
Thank you.
personalities. We had fun at that front. Every time I passed by that desk, one of them was messing with me, and I was messing with them back, and we laughed the whole time. They had a great. They did have a great spirit. They were in the right place, right time.
Thank you.
Keith. Well, you know what? I know how your heart beat. Our birthdays are days apart, so I know how your heart beat. Thank you for allowing that thought of yours to come out, and reach out for us to come and break bread with you. And Ken, you've been around television so long. I know you can't help yourself. You've been around some of the same people that I came in contact with, so I know your spirit, and I appreciate you coming aboard, breaking bread with us, and looking forward to the future with you. Irie Israel.
Yes,
Word
sir.
of mouth entertainment. You know what word of mouth is? Your word of mouth been a long time. I remember when you were standing in the background and nobody knew who you were. You was back there, just sitting in the back there, just looking around. They didn't know whether or not you was there to stick the place up.
Hey, Keith,
Know what it was.
Keith, believe it or not,
So
believe it or not,
yeah,
I'm
you
still in the back.
came. He came from the back. He came from the back all the way to the front, because a lot of people don't know Irie himself. Before I let it go, Irie and I witnessed $200,000 in the red.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
We saw $200,000 cleanly in the red. When I say red, it had red letters on it. $200,000 in the back. You know what I'm saying? So this says to the promoters out there, just because you go down don't mean you can't get back up.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta line yourself up with God to send you the people you need so you can get back up. You can't keep playing with the devil. You can't keep doing that. You need to wash your hands of that. And that, I'm gonna say that. Brian
Yes,
and the
sir.
First Lady,
Yes.
thank you all for being who you are to keep the doors open and the true game alive, because
Yeah. Thank
without
you.
you all, the media aspect of it, closed mouth won't get fed. And
Mm-hmm.
you all made that possible, that people understand what that means. So my hats off to all you all and to the guests, my friends
you.
out there for a long time back. I know it's some people I saw at the event that I hadn't seen in a long time. We hugged each other so tight, man. That's like they pulled my heart out of my chest. So it felt good to really see all you all. And I hope it's not going to be that long before we see each other again. I'm sure it won't be. It was great to see all of you all. And the ones that didn't make it, I look forward to seeing you as well, because life does change. But to all you all, thank you for your time and effort, and let's just keep it moving. Love you all, and
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Keith.
Okay, well, when
Thank you.
it comes to me, what I want to say is I don't want to, everything that the group has said so far, I don't want to, I don't want to repeat it, but I feel the same way that they all feel about each other and about Inside Stepping and all the media, actually, all the media that came out. I want to give special recognition to Gucci, our
Gucci.
guy. I want to give some more recognition to we already did it, but they really don't understand the tremendous effort and help and assistance they gave us was the instructors and the DJs that donated their time. I particularly want to thank all the people who showed up for my Bible class because a lot of people don't understand that you got to have you got to have a little spirituality within your event because you want God to look over your event. So that's why I always include the Bible class inside of the event.
Very good.
Because it's a spirituality. and it runs deep.
Mhm.
Also, I just want to thank all the people who put their trust in us as a team to deliver the goods. Keep C. Y'all just don't understand that I can set it up, but Keith C really made it happen because every speaker, every sound system, all that stuff in all of those rooms, all the room went through Keith. I gave it to Keith.
That's a
Keith
lot
gave
of
it to the
equipment.
hotel, and the hotel delivered it. So it went from me to Keith C to the hotel, and we was rocking and rolling. And like I said, I stepped out of line only one time, and Mona put me back in my place when it came. But you know, it was supposed to because we all had our own assignments,
Hmm.
and she put me back in my place, and I for that. I do feel I feel bad for the people that did not come because, as I said before, anybody that put their blood, their sweat, and their tears in the community, this was for you all.
Absolutely.
It
Man,
was for you all. And if I don't know what happened that you guys didn't come, I don't know. It could have been, legit. But for the ones that didn't show up and didn't make it, this thing was really for all of us that put all our hearts and souls into this dance. That's what it was all about. Um, Last but not least, um, thank God, thank the most, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Thank you.
all
Thank
right.
you. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to round it out and I'm going to say thank you all for the opportunity to allow me and Inside Stepping to participate in this event and have the platform to be able to continue our work journey and to convey as much information and truth and reality in this from this community to this dance and this culture and be able to do it on such a grand scale along with my appreciation for you all and considering me as worthy enough as a DJ to be able to entertain such a large crowd and be a part of my DJ brethren throughout the community who all showed up and did their work. And I'm very thankful for that. And of course, this event will go down in the history books of stepping. And I am more than elated to have been able to be a part of that. And anytime you all need the services of Brian Forbes, DJ Be Real, or Inside Stepping, y'all have my number. Y'all know how to get a hold of me. You dig? So,
Before,
with all of that said, huh?
before you go, we all have to do one thing if we didn't do it. I know I didn't, and that goes for some of us. Our family, our immediate family, showed up to the event. And
Yes.
for me, my sisters and and I know I know what I'm talking about. His family showed up.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we say that to our family, our immediate family, that
Yeah.
we love you. Thank you for showing up and breaking bread with us, because we know you had other things that you could. Because our families don't necessarily dance or step per se. So but they showed up and gave us the blessings as well. So I want to send a shout out to our families, my other half, and my daughter, and my kids. I want to thank you all for helping me stay stay in the right mind. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you.
My man. All right, lady and gentlemen, it has been wonderful having you all this evening. I look forward to the time when we have the opportunity to do it all again.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
with that said, in the meantime and in between time, thank you all, and I'm going to wish you all a good night, and we'll all talk soon.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Take
Thank
care,
you so
friend.
much.
Good night.
All
Peace,
right,
y'all.
Poppy.
Bye bye.
See
Take
ya.
care, Ken. All right, Ken.
All right,
All
ladies and
right, y'all.
gentlemen, that has been the panel, the magnificent and thoughtful panel from the homecoming for this year, 2025. Not to be duplicated, not to be, this was a phenomenal event, and I am happy to have been a part of it. I have been on the line now, y'all, for 2 hours and 24 minutes. This is now I'm gonna call it. It ain't a record because we've done it before. Reggie Miles, how you doing, my brother? Reggie Miles said, "Keep walking alive." We cannot ever forget that. We're not gonna forget that, Reggie. Don't forget. And conversations, y'all, every single Monday, 7:00. Don't forget. Check out my man Reggie Miles. He is back on the air. Also, I just want to say. Do not forget to tune in on Sunday, you guys, to yours truly, DJ Be Real, Brown Liquor Sundays, as we get down on the box, flyradio.com, that's FLYY.com, that's with 2 Y's, the flyest station in the nation, or WBOE.com, and that is ReggieMiles.com, where we play nothing but old school, and we make it right for you on a Sunday night. I don't think I have anything else, because I have said plenty, and I am tired. What?
Till Marlon, thank you for allowing me to DJ.
My man, Jamal Marlon, DJ Poppy over here said, thank you for allowing her to DJ the workshop. I heard she did a good job. Did you do a good job? Did you do your thing? All right, good. Glad to hear it.
And thank you, Willie, for allowing me to
Willie,
work on your bus.
Willie Chapman, we appreciate you for, giving us the opportunity to host one of your buses. It turned out to be a really good time, and we had we had rave reviews. Everybody loved it and had a great time, so we appreciate it. All right, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you thank you. I love you all. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And just remember, love on somebody else. Take care of each other. Let's get rid of some of these egos. Let's beat some of these snakes out our camp and make sure that everything goes the way it's supposed to. Don't never let them get you down, baby. It's going to be all right. Have yourself the wonderful rest of your week and have a better weekend. I am Brian Forbes. This has been Inside Steppin', and it is time for me to go. Peace, y'all.
Good night.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily those of its hosts, Urban Arts Enterprises, its advertisers, or affiliates, and are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.